Hello again. Before we get into this episode, you should know that the previous episode was part of a 2-hour chunk, the second half of which is this episode. If you haven't seen that episode, I recommend you go watch episode 14 now. And welcome back. So I think I've got a working system here. This is about as small as I can make it, as near as I can tell. Wherein it covers everything except these corners, but that shouldn't be too big of a problem. I've just got this little, this crazy little creative mode lever, I guess. Just like that. Power comes down, water comes along. It's something really crazy I do because I got tired of having to click buckets every single time. But this covers everything. It is a lot smaller than the original that we had before. Including that one, it is 4 blocks tall, so we only have to make that high. So, we shall pop over into the Nether, and we shall try and build this. Back in a moment. Hello everyone, and welcome to episode 15 of Nether Expedition. Yeah, this was going to be mostly the remainder of the footage from my... I got this working again. The remainder of footage from my 2-hour session of recording, which was completely accidental, and I was very sleepy at the time. A little drowsy right now, but not nearly so drowsy. But yeah, the footage kind of fell flat and felt very forced, and it hasn't been getting as well received as the other episodes of Nether Expedition have been more recently. So I need to fix that one. This one's fixed though, and I can't really blame anyone for that one. It was possibly the worst episode I've done in a while. I've been doing some redecorating around here since then. Let's see, what else have I gotten done? But this has been the largest thing I've done, really. Just add these pathways. And I've been liking adding these pathways, actually, because, it helps me navigate, for one thing, and it adds this, human element to things, makes it look like there's actually, like, some, purpose of direction and navigation around here. Like, people live here, effectively. Oop, looks like we had a visitor near the golems. Yeah, it works. And these guys haven't been going crazy again, which is fantastic. Martin hasn't managed to find anything particularly useful out of these books, so we may have to go get some more. There was actually someone on the main site, on remembercomic.co.uk, did manage to spot inside of looting the library that I had missed a chest inside of the library. So I'm going to have to dig through the footage on that and see if I can pinpoint the path that I took to get to it. Because that's the annoying thing about a maze. If you find you've missed a spot on the way out, it's going to take you ages to get back through to it. But our main job today is we're going to try and expand our resources. By which I mean we're going to be making a particularly good stone generator. Which will allow us to actually have cobblestone and stone bricks and smoothstone and all sorts. Right, that Sandy's not alone. Then again, I think they might make that noise regardless of where they are. Well, I guess I'll find out in a few seconds, no doubt, when I get hit by a throng of them. Okay, so I'm going to pick out a spot to put this stone generator, and we're going to hop over into my test world once again, which one or two people have expressed some interest in seeing more often. But it's mostly just scattered with various like random things that I've literally just fired up Minecraft for a couple of minutes to try out. But yeah, I guess we'll see a few things there. But our main focus is the stone generator, so I shall see you in a moment. And I actually almost forgot. Billiboo, 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 billiboo. And here we are in my test world. We need to head into the Nether here, because that's where I've set up this whole little experiment. This little thing is just a random light flicker. Every now and then these lights will flash on and off. Which is it uses her method of making a random pulse that I've been using quite a bit around the world. And over there is a... I should probably explain this thing a bit better, actually. There we are. Just hop over. I was trying to make a smoothstone generator that didn't just output in a line or a big cube. I wanted something with an actual design to it, so I made this. I think you can make it a lot simpler having made it now, but it's nice. I like it. This is a round counter. If we just hit this, the count should go up. There we go. It has just this little arrow that points to the different levels. And I made that for a multiplayer server, but it is a huge system. And the server I was making on was not local, shall we say, so it kind of tanked. But there is a whole bunch of functionality to it. It's just basically these well, we've got that broke. Oh dear. One quick moment while I fix that. Eek. This is why I don't like using creative mode. Yeah. Okay, we've got two little decimal counters. These push forward, and that gets power into the actual outputs, which causes it to increase the number. And the bottom one is for the digits, and the top one is for the decimals. So this will count up to 99, and it will automatically reset, which is quite nice. This was an experiment I had for making a self-repairing cobblestone wall that didn't have the mechanism on the outside, which is something you commonly see, which requires that I have a sticky piston that pulls it back in. But the problem I have there is the reason these furnaces are in place, because if you don't have that, it just keeps pushing them out and creates all these various platforms on which people can stand and happily bombard you at close range, which isn't particularly as useful, but it works pretty well. That was an experiment I was looking into, some things that Sandcarn had been working on. This is fun thing. I was trying to get a machine that includes the timing as well as the detonator for effectively a long distance ender pearl transit system. You'll have like a ring of TNT over there. You'll stand on here, and then that will tell you when to throw your ender pearl. And how did he get out? I've had that fence has been around that little natural testing chunk there for a while now. Very strange. But yeah, if you could work this out properly, I haven't quite got it perfected, but if you get it working properly, and you could just have like one of these in like guard towers of a big city build, and just use that to get around, because the ender pearls, they don't really do all that much damage. Yeah, you've seen this already this episode. This is the little design I eventually came up with for the Golem Farms water system. Not with this on top, of course, but nonetheless. This is a rapid... this is a fun thing. This is a rapid fire... let's just stick these in. This is a rapid fire sort of machine gun build that I put together. Okay, let's just shut this up. And that triggers all of these dispensers at maximum speed, basically. Okay, but now let's, yeah, Walter and Gerald. And Martin. This is just where I kind of keep them, whenever I don't need them for anything in particular. Although over there is going to be something interesting, but we may get to see that as we're entering the Nether here. Hello, ducks. Hello, cow. Once more into the breach, dear friends, once more. That's a weird thing that the creative inventory does. Okay, not looking at that. Some tests I did with Iron Golem farms in the Nether. They work pretty well, but there's still that zombie issue, which is an odd one. And over here we have a quick water test over there. Get rid of that. Okay, and here we have the... There we go. The smoothstone generator. This is a fairly simplistic model. It only creates this big, long tube, and it kind of favors one side over the other, but it will never jam. And if it does manage to jam... Whoop, I need to just fix that one quick moment. There we go, just had my binding set to the wrong thing. Okay. Yeah, it will never jam. It will always continue to pull out at pretty much the maximum speed. I could make it a bit faster, just by turning this down to 2 instead of 3, but that significantly increases the popularity of it just doing that, basically. And whenever it does that, we don't get an output, which ultimately slows it down, even though it's actually firing faster. And this only uses the one water source, because we have a very few of them, and I want to make sure we use them to their fullest potential. It also uses one lava source, which is, well, less of a problem around here in the Nether, but less potential for destruction and devastation is always good. It also uses a couple of furnaces, which may mean that we're going to have to break apart our system in the storage room. But more importantly, it's going to you can see here it uses a lever. And it also uses, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and 4 repeaters, which is going to require us to make 12 smoothstone first before we can put this together. So we're going to have to smelt, so we're going to have to make a much simpler design, but we can probably just make 1/2 of this somewhere. And because it'll always make smoothstone here, but the question is, will it get pushed out? But I'm going to put together the components, and I shall see you back in the stronghold, the fortress, where we construct our brand new stone generator, and significantly increase our... You comfy there? Significantly increase our potential for building. So I shall see you all in a moment. Okay, so I haven't gotten the stone out for the lever and the repeaters just yet, but I thought I would commemorate the moment where I inaugurate the fact that we can now acquire cobble inside of the Nether here. There we go, the very first piece of stone purely made in the Nether. Ain't it so shiny? Personally, I think I've become a bit more accustomed to Nether brick, but oh well, we can do some fun things either way. And I'm gonna have to go see what he's trying to blow up now. Sorry. Okay, so parts collected. We have made all of the repeaters we're going to need here. We will need in total 4 redstone torches, 4 repeaters, and an as yet undisclosed portion of redstone, but suffice to say, not much, or else I really wouldn't be building this. Now, what this basically involves is we've got these 2 pistons on the side, which are going to be pushing into the center. If one of them is already extended, then the other one cannot. And then this central one is going to push it out in a big long line here. And basically, if one of these, for whatever reason, has clogged or jammed or whatever the phrase would be applying when the lava just decides to go straight through instead of creating stone, the other one will take over, and that one, and the one that's clogged will get cleared by the process of the pistons firing. The way we do that is we have a redstone line going into the blocks underneath both of the side pistons, and a repeater going into the block beneath the middle one. We don't really need this on any particular setting, but it has to be slower than the ones on the sides, or else it'll just prevent them from firing. And up top, I just grab that. We have made this is designed by EFO, but we've got our 1 water source and we've got our 1 lava source, and they're on top of blocks with a drop on either side. The other sides are cut off so that they don't flow everywhere, which in the Nether is a bad thing, because as we saw when we were originally building our iron golem farm, lava flows quite a bit farther in the Nether. In fact, I think it's like 12 blocks, it's been a while since I've checked. So basically that causes them to splay out and go down the different routes, where they then go pretty much wherever they like. So we've got our lava particles here, which is somewhat appropriate, I think. And we've got our water coming out both sides as well. But as I discovered, at least while I was making the repeaters, the slight problem with this currently is that there is a fairly high probability that the block will just bounce up there, which is why we have it push out and centralize. Now the first thing we need is a pulsar. So, we get our block of choice here. Let's see. We need Block here. Torch on the side. This has probably pushed one out. Yep, it has. We need to put chests or furnaces or something on the sides here, just so that whenever this reaches capacity, it doesn't destroy itself, because when the middle piston cannot push any further out, these pistons on the sides will still attempt to fire. And the one that, by whatever quirk of the random number generator, I guess, fires first will push the other one out of alignment, and it will just start going in one direction and completely destroy itself, basically. Well, not completely destroy itself, but majorly destroy itself. Okay. And back to our pulsar. Block here. Block here. Torch there. A repeater set to 3 there. Block there. Redstone there. It should be lit up because the torch is on. And down here, turning that off. And since I have our lever on me, I can now demonstrate this working. So, this is our power, so this is our input. When it comes in, it turns this torch off, and then I found about 3 ticks later, it turns off the torch, but since there's a delay, there is at a point where there is no power going to this torch, and this torch is on, sending a very quick pulse. And the reason that you want to use a very quick pulse when you're making a stone or cobblestone generator like this, is the more time that the system has to generate stone, the faster that your generator can output. And the only times that these can actually output stone is when the pistons aren't extended and they're not blocking off the lava and water connection. So that's important to know. Okay, and next we need to put our clock in. I may be going slightly off design for this, we'll see. And the fastest way we can do for a clock is... let's see where I can figure out where to put this. See, we have the wall there? Yeah, I think we have the wall there. Okay, so we need a block here. Torch on the side of it. Redstone on top of it. A block here. Redstone there. Repeater here, set to 3. And repeater here, set to 4. And that creates our endless cycling. And we can then draw the current out of that as well into our pulsar, which I'm not going to connect just yet. Because to turn this off, we have a torch here. And we put our lever there. So we can now turn it on and off at a whim. Now we could put together a T flip-flop or a toggle circuit, which would allow us to turn it on and off with the push of a button, but that requires sticky pistons and it requires a lot more redstone, and it generally may be broken in 1.3 because they're changing how the pistons work, which won't affect how this works because we're not using any sticky pistons, but it will cause them to... the way most T flip-flops work is that a 1-tick pulse sent into a sticky piston at the present moment will extend or retract, but not both, which allows you to change the state. But that may be changed in the 1.3 release. There we go. And I can just stick this on. And I almost can't keep up with this, but this is a macro, so it works quite nicely. And we now have 100% retention of our loots. Turn it off. Not a problem. There we go. And we've still got half a stack of redstone from all this. So, well, we lost 1 piston, well, 3 pistons in the course of making that, and half a stack of our redstone, but it is a vital resource. So we can now make all manner of stone tools, we can make stone bricks, we can make smoothstone, cobblestone, we can do quite a bit. We can make brewing stands at our leisure now. We can do quite a lot now that we have a cobblestone supply around here. And let's put the rest of our redstone away, shall we? There we go. So, yep. I don't know if it's coal. I found I have 2 coal over here. But I cannot for the life of me remember where we got it. Did I have coal when I arrived here? Was there coal in the furnaces? Coal in the chests? I can't remember where this coal came from. Because I'm sure I've been using charcoal this whole time. Very strange. But anyway, I don't know if this has been a short episode just yet, but I suppose we'll close it out as we usually do. You can see we've got quite a few iron golems here now. We've got 4, well, 5, because I've just seen one poke out of that one. Yep. The way that's happening is that because we are, how should I put this? The village object, which is marked by the presence of villagers and doors, routinely checks to see if there are any iron golems, and that one's caught in a dead spot from the doors. We'll routinely check if there are any iron golems wandering around, proportional to the number of villagers. And if it finds that there's a lack of them, it picks a random location to spawn them, and it then checks if the random number generator is swinging in the right direction. There it goes. And if there isn't one, and that number checks out, then it spawns one. But if we have our system here, which is constantly taking them out, and they're not idling up there as they were before, then basically the odds of them showing up increase because there are more village object checks of iron golems that result in there are no iron golems, than as opposed to there are some iron golems. Hello, pigman. Bring your pretty face to my axe. Whoop. Okay, bring it to my sword then. The axe is nice, but I wish it did more damage. I mean, come on, it's an axe. They're not even put together fully. Still fun to use, though. So, this has been Nether Expedition episode 15, and I shall catch you next time. Which has seen a popularity surge, I guess, to help navigate our way around here. But we have our first tree. Oh god, I've just realized where the fire is. We gotta move.